If you look at the life of Abraham in the Old Testament in Genesis, you know that he was a man of means. He had a lot of money. He had a lot of livestock, camels, goats, whatever they had in those days, gold. He had a lot of servants. In fact, he was so rich that he had so many servants that he had an army. He could wage a war. He could wage a war against kings. When Lot, his nephew, was kidnapped, he got an army. He had enough people to go with him. He had enough servants to. He had a mini army. It was like a mini nation himself, pretty much. He had enough resources to go and wage a war against kings. Not just that he won, not just that he spoiled them. He brought stuff back from the war after rescuing Lot. But it should be amazing to you that of all the material possessions, all the blessings that Abraham had in the Old Testament, there is not one place in the New Testament where there's a reference to Abraham's riches, to Abraham's money, to Abraham's material possession. We're told that he went to the slaughter of kings and he gave a portion or a tenth of the spoils to Melchizedek. But that's it. Nothing about Abraham's possessions, Abraham's riches, Abraham's money, Abraham's anything else. The only thing that the New Testament really focuses on is Abraham's faith. Paul writes extensively, copiously, again and again and again and again about the faith of Abraham, about Abraham's faith, and about us, about believers following the faith of Abraham, copying the faith of Abraham. He puts up Abraham as the template, a paradigm, an example, a type. His faith as a type of our faith, of the kind of faith that we should have today. That is all. When we look at the life of Abraham, that is all we should focus on, because that is what the New Testament focuses on. Again and again and again, Paul urges us. Paul teaches us and says, just like Abraham believed God, and that faith was counted to him for righteousness, the same way righteousness will be imputed to us if we believe God just like Abraham did. You can see that, for example, in Romans chapter 4, the last verse of Romans chapter 4, where it says here, look at verse 22. Romans 4:22. It says that here that righteousness was imputed to Abraham, and therefore it was imputed to him for righteousness. Verse 23. Now it was not written for his sake alone that it was imputed to him, but for us also. It was written not just for Abraham's sake that righteousness was imputed to him, but it is written for us also, to whom righteousness will be imputed if we believe on him that raised up Jesus our Lord from the dead, who was delivered for our offenses and was raised up for our justification.